My father-in-law kicked my boyfriend and me out of his house, saying we would never amount to anything in life. And now that I'm rich, he demands that I give him our house and support him for the rest of his life. I was 15 when my parents died. No family, ended up on the streets until a government program gave me housing and half minimum wage until 18. When that ended, I couldn't get work because I had no address. Finally got a job at a diner making almost nothing. That's where I met Cody, my now husband. He was a regular customer, and we'd talk for hours. 6 months later, I moved in with him. His dad hated me from day one, called me worthless, said I'd drag his son down. I paid their rent, bills, groceries, saved every penny for our future. Didn't matter. Daily insults, constant judgment, street rat. He'd call me at dinner. My son deserves better than some homeless girl. Cody would defend me, but his dad would just laugh. She's using you, son. Mark my words. I worked doubles at the diner while Cody did construction. Every night I'd come home exhausted to more criticism. Still smell like grease? His dad would sneer. This is what failure looks like. The worst part? I genuinely tried to win him over. Cooked his favorite meals, cleaned the house spotless, even bought him birthday gifts with money I could barely spare. Nothing worked. One Christmas, I saved for months to buy him a nice watch. He opened it, looked disgusted, and said, I don't need charity from a charity case. Then he threw it in the trash right in front of me. Cody's friends would come over and his dad would introduce me as the homeless girl Cody's wasting his time with. I'd sit there humiliated while everyone looked at me with pity. One night we came home from a date and he wouldn't let us in. Said he'd sold our clothes and stolen our savings. I won't support two losers who'll never succeed. We slept in my car that night. Cody cried. First time I'd ever seen him break down. I'm sorry, he kept saying. I should have stood up to him sooner. Got a tiny room near the diner. Cody found work. The room was so small we had to take turns getting dressed. Ate a ramen for months, but we were finally free. We took a loan, opened our own small restaurant after hours. Cody would cook while I waited tables. We'd work our day jobs, then run to our place until midnight. The first year was brutal. Barely breaking even. Working 16-hour days, sleeping 4 hours a night. Cody's dad would drive by sometimes just to laugh at us through the window. But slowly, customers started coming back. Word spread. Local food blogger gave us 5 stars. Lines started forming outside. We hired our first employee, a kid from the streets like me, then another. Cody insisted we pay above minimum wage. Everyone deserves a real chance, he'd say. Years passed. That one restaurant became 5, then 10. We built an empire. Cody proposed in our flagship restaurant. You turned my life around, he said. Let's make it official. His dad wasn't invited to the wedding. We had 2 kids, Sophia and Frederick. Cody turned into the most incredible father. I want to be everything my dad wasn't, he'd say while reading them bedtime stories. Our company went public 3 years ago. We're worth about $50 million now. Bought a mansion in the hills with a pool the kids love. Cody's mom visits sometimes, divorced his dad years ago, and finally admits he was always horrible to her too. The kids call her Grandma Eleanor. She brings cookies and plays board games with them. This is what family looks like, Cody tells me, watching her teach Sophia to bake. Last week, our success story hit the local paper. Photo of us at a charity gala, donating $1 million to homeless shelters. 3 days later, guess who showed up at our mansion? His dad, wearing a cheap suit, driving a beat-up Honda. Age had not been kind. Looked like he'd been drinking heavily for years. I want to see my grandchildren and discuss our arrangement. I laughed. What arrangement? You owe me $10,000 monthly in this house. It's the least you can do after I housed you. You stole our money and threw us out. I reminded him. That was tough love. I made you stronger. This success is partly mine. Cody appeared behind me, saw his dad, and his face went cold. Get off my property. Son, I'm your father. We're family. Family doesn't steal from each other, Cody said. Family doesn't call the woman I love worthless every single day. His dad's mask dropped. Fine. I tried being nice. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. I slammed the door. Next day, we got served. He's suing for over $1 million, claiming emotional distress and unpaid caregiving services. Our lawyer laughed when she read it. This is the weakest case I've ever seen. He has 0 documentation. The trial's tomorrow. He's about to learn what never amount to anything really means.